सो हेलो एवरीवन, आज मैं एक वीडियो बनाने वाला हूँ लाइक दिस इज़ आफ्टर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम। सो इस वीडियो में हम कंसिडर करने वाले हैं एक मैथमेटिक्स के एल्गोरिदम के लिए जो कि कई बार डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स में यूज़ किया जाता है, जिसका नाम है कराट्सुबा एल्गोरिदम। एंड द मेथड इट इज़ कॉल्ड डिवाइड एंड कॉन्क्यर। लाइक वी हैव सम प्रॉब्लम, we divide it into some sub problems and then conquer those sub problems to achieve the result of the initial problem. Now अगर मैं बताऊं कि for what purpose is this Karatsuba algorithm, then basically we can say it's a multiplication algorithm कि like हम हैंड मेथड से मल्टीप्लिकेशन करते थे। like हम क्या करते हैं कि शिफ्ट एंड एडिशन करके मल्टीप्लिकेशन करते हैं। like 25 टाइम्स 25 करना है हमें, then first we will calculate 25 times 5, then 25 times 2 और दोनों को shifted addition करेंगे। So this is called grade school multiplication algorithm, and this is called Karatsuba algorithm. Now we will understand what is the need of this algorithm, why is this faster than grade school algorithm, and first of all, how do we compare these algorithms. So now the first basic steps which we are going to consider is that how we can compare these algorithms, or like how we can measure their time. So let's understand how we could measure the time. For measuring the time, we use a term called time complexity. Each algorithm has its own time complexity. Now, time complexity means, like, suppose for multiplying two one digit number, it took 1 second, and for multiplying three digits number, it took 9 seconds. Now we can see that the time complexity is n squared. Like as digits grow, the time grows quadratically. So like this tells how time is growing. It is not telling exact value of time, but it is telling how the growth of time will happen. So the rate of time could be understood by the time complexity. So let's understand the times complexity of the grade school multiplication with some examples. So if I consider that we need to multiply two numbers, sorry, that is 328 times 426. Now while multiplying these numbers, what steps would you require? First, we would require 6 to be multiplied by 3, 2 and 8. Then 2 multiplied by 3, 2 and 8. Then 4 multiplied by 3, 2 and 8. So suppose uh, how much multiplication we needed to do in first step? N multiplications. Then in second step, N. Then in third step, N. एंड ऐसा कब तक कंटिन्यू होगा? जब तक टोटल n टर्म्स आ जाए इसके। देन वी नो कि रिपीटिव सम्स ऑफ n विल बी इक्विवेलेंट टू n टाइम्स n, दैट इज n स्क्वायर। सो ये बता क्या रहा है कि हाउ मेनी ऑपरेशंस यू नीड टू डू, कितने मल्टीप्लिकेशंस आपको करने होंगे वन डिजिट नंबर के। सो यू नीडेड टू डू n square multiplication to multiply two n digits number. Suppose instead we consider p and q digits number, then pq multiplication आपको करने पड़ेंगे. So we can understand that its time complexity, like we can say grade school algorithm, grade sorry grade school algorithm, like in which we shifted addition we perform, has a time complexity of O of n square. What is this O? This is representing the bigger constant. Now, what I mean by, like, if you consider computer multiplying these numbers, then for computer, these numbers are multiplied by binary numbers, and we can consider that it will take some time for multiplying one digit number also. So suppose I say it to be a constant time, so it's a constant O multiplied by n square. So we say its time complexity to be O of n square. Just a second. We know that the regular algorithm took n square time steps. So we have one idea that one algorithm which we know for multiplication takes O of n square time. Can we do better? Yes, here comes in our Karatsuba algorithm. Its time complexity is pretty interesting. O of n power 1.58. Now, like you will consider why such random number 1.58, then behind the reason of 1.58 is that 1.58 is equivalent to log base 2 3. Now, if we consider the log of 3 in base 2, it is equivalent to 1.5. Now, how this Karatsuba algorithm works? Just wait a minute. We will understand completely how the time complexity comes. What is this algorithm? What are the steps which we do? So, now for understanding the steps which we perform, let's take two numbers, x and y. I need to multiply these numbers to obtain the value of z, suppose. Now, if I consider x and y to be two numbers, then I can say by damn surety that x would be equivalent to some polynomial. By polynomial, I mean like we could write it in such a way 10a plus b 10a plus b or any such way. So like instead of this, if I say it in a general manner, we can say it will be equivalent to at square plus bt plus c. Now what this t means, t is simply 10, because like we know we consider normal numbers in base 10, so we can say I can represent a number in the form of a polynomial at square plus bt plus c. It is pretty interesting to say that a number could be also written as a polynomial. Suppose I need to write 458, then coefficient a will be 4, b will be c, b will be 5, and c will be 8, because 4 5 8 will get 400 plus 50 plus 8. Now similarly, I consider y to be another number in a similar fashion, dt square plus et plus f. Now I want to multiply these two polynomials with each other. Now you may be considering we are just taking three digits number. That's not fair. But actually, uh, we will gradually like increase the size of number or try to generalize our thing which we have achieved. And for the simpler case, I would instead say that we need to consider just two-digit number, because to depict on paper it would be easy. So suppose I have taken the polynomials in this form. Like our target is to multiply 23 into 42. Now x and y are such numbers, and when I multiply I get z, which is equal to act square plus, now at will be multiplied by d and b will be multiplied by ct. So we will get t whole common ac, sorry, not ac, ad plus BC, and finally BD. Now you could consider, suppose Z3 is just some number like 578, then 5 is AC and 7 is AD plus BC and 8 is BD. So what is the moral, like what we can understand, like by doing this what we have achieved? We can say that to multiply two numbers, I would first split it into two parts, A and B. And these parts, I would multiply these two parts instead of multiplying x and y. Now you may consider that after splitting it into two, we needed to perform four operations. Now instead of four operations, these operations could be minimized. Yes, if I consider Z2, that is the t squared coefficient, it is AC. Okay. Now Z0 is BD. Yes, but we can write z1 in a very good fashion, that a plus b multiplied by c plus d. If I multiply these both quantities with each other and subtract z2 and z0, you will achieve back AD plus BC. I know that this complete term is equal to z1, and this term is also equivalent to z1, because the waste term like AC and BD will be cancelled from z2 and z0. So we could actually perform it in three multiplications. Now you may consider that, okay, we can multiply it in three multiplications, then what's the benefit of doing this? Now, for the benefit or the key advantage is that you need to perform these three multiplications, and while multiplying a with c, you could further break a into two parts like we did with the x, splitting it into a and b. Similarly, I could break a and c into two equal parts and perform this thing recursively. So are dividing and conquering these steps like Z2, Z1 and Z0 calculating steps. So now let's see an example by hand and try to prove why this takes less time than the general Karatsuba algorithm. Okay, just a second. Now let me clear up the mess here. Just a second. Pages, I add a new page, and this in this page we will try to consider a practical example of Karatsuba, and you will think that these steps are lengthier, and we will understand later on. Suppose I need to multiply 23 with 48. We could use normal multiplication, but suppose I am forced to use Karatsuba, then here I know that A is equal to B is equal to 3 if I consider this to be X, and C is equal to 4, D is equal to 8. Yes, now you know that Z2 is equivalent to, just as we saw in the previous page, it is equal to AC. Z1 is equivalent to what? We saw that it is equivalent to A plus B times Z C plus D, A plus B times C plus D, sorry, C plus D minus Z2 minus Z0. And what is Z0? It is just B times D. These are the three terms. Now let's compute these terms. Z2 pretty easily. A and C, it is equal to 8. Yes, now Z1. A plus B, that is 5, and C plus D, that is 12. 5 times 12, it will be 60 minus 8, that is Z2. And Z0 is what? 3 into 8, that will be 24. So like on solving, what we will achieve is this will become 32, and the final value will be 28. And whereas Z0 will be equal to B times D, that is 3 times 8, that is 24. Now I could reconstruct this into a number. By which steps? We know that it is equivalent to 800 plus 24 into 10, sorry, 24 into 10, not, it is 28 into 10 plus 24, because this is the hundreds place, this is the tens place, and this is the ones place. Now you need to perform addition further. You might consider this to be a lengthier method, and it is for the human beings till now, but when programmed in a computer we could derive it to be faster. Like, just let me perform the normal addition. We'll get 401 as a carryover, 8 plus 2 plus 3, it will be 11. So the final result is 1104. This is what we will achieve by multiplying. Now just you may have finally got fevered by this algorithm because it's so many steps. So let's understand why this is basically required still. So suppose I assume the time complexity that is to be some function of n, like I assume it to be n power a, then I know that the time complexity n power a is equivalent to, here we saw that we need to do 3 multiplications. Yes, so 3 multiplications, but their size is n by 2 because a and c both have half the size of the original number. So 3 times n by 2 raised to a. So if we now try to simplify this equation, then n power a is equal to 3 n power a by 2 power a. Finally, these terms would get cancelled, then 2 power a is equal to 3. So a is equal to log base 2 3. Now you may say that we made an assumption that time complexity is n power a. It may be n log n, it may be sine of n. Any functions is possible. Yes, it is possible, and actually why this is n log base 2 3, it's a very detailed proof, but if we assume small thing, then we could still prove it in an easier manner. Just like in SHM, we can't derive the that it is true, but just check that yeah, it is correct. So if I just assume it to be n power a, I could see that it is correct. So we know that time complexity which we have achieved for Karatsuba is n log base to 3 compared to original algorithm n square. Now you may say that we are doing so much steps in Karatsuba. These steps are really a pain, and that could be understood by the coefficients because these are not exact time. Suppose I say exact time is actually a times n log base to 3, and this is b times n square. These two are different variables. Now you may say a and b, what are the meaning of these are different time constants which depend on which stuffs, like how expensive the operation is. Here if we do subtraction and addition, then we can say that subtraction is more costly, it will take more time, so the constant a will be greater. And so is for Karatsuba. There are lots of subtractions happening over here. So A is lot much greater than B. Then you may ask that what is the meaning of Karatsuba to be faster? Actually, if I show you an practical implementation of a program, then soon through program by brute force we can say that if a number is greater than 210 digits, or suppose approximately 200 digit long number, there are 200 digit long number and I need to multiply them. And when I multiply these 200 digit number, what if I say that Karatsuba is faster at that time than grade school algorithm? It might sound shocking, but till then, because A is greater than B, but at some time Karatsuba must get faster due to its lower exponent because there is n square and here the exponent is 1.58. So yes, it happens nearly at 200 digits that Karatsuba gets faster. Now, what is the meaning for calculating such large numbers? These get come into the understanding when we are doing rocket science like stuff, like calculating the distance from Earth to Sun. These are like huge numbers which need faster calculations, for which the Karatsuba algorithm is used. In the upcoming videos, I will try to understand you all more algorithms about multiplication. Like there is an algorithm which uses fast Fourier transform in which the time complexity is just O of n log n log of log n. This might sound like a weird time complexity, but it is very small. compared to Karatsu and much faster. So we will discuss about this algorithm in our later videos, but the just next video is going to be about a practical implementation in a program. I would not show you programming like stuffs, but I will try to tell you what my program is doing and how Karatsuba is getting faster than our grade school algorithm. So till then, we will meet you in our next videos. Keep watching my channel. Okay, bye everyone.